Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are um, listening to this. Hello, my name is Lenny, and we are calibrating to love today. That was the word that came up while I was getting into the energy of this reading. We're calibrating to love today, and take a seat. Take a seat, get a snack, get some water, whatever it is you want to do while listening to this. We are open and ready to it. Okay, so I'm just making sure, yes. Okay, we're good. So I have pulled up Oracle and Tarot cards for the energetics of this reading as you calibrate. And then I haven't opened the cards yet, but later on we will have a card that represents the suggested way to internally calibrate, the suggested way to externally calibrate, and then final message for all of us here today. I'm kind of hesitant to say the today because I'm recording as it is evening. Well, it's nighttime. It's 11:24 p.m. In case that is significant to someone. 1124. So let's begin, shall we? And we're gonna start with I'm just gonna say the cards that are up here. Today, for the Oracle cards, we have the Gazelle and the Cobra, both in reverse. And these are in this deck the Animal Spirit Wild Unknown deck by Kim Krantz. They are both in the fire element. So fire, it's all about passion, it's all about drive, motivation, all of that stuff. But they're both in the reverse. Before I read what the guidebook has to say about these cards, I'm going to tell you the tarot cards first, which are all major arcana cards: the Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit, and the Tower. So already, this is shaping up to be a very significant reading for those of us whom this will resonate, for whom this will resonate. So, yes, I'm going to start with reading what is in the guidebook. And so the Gazelle again is in the fire element for this deck. Heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. The Gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. When in balance, graceful, perceptive, artistic. When out of balance, food allergies, insomnia, racing mind. To bring into balance, yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food. So, because the gazelle is in the reverse, we are going to take note that the gazelle shows up as being out of balance for this reading, which is the signs showing that the gazelle is out of balance is through food allergies, insomnia, and a racing mind. Now, the cobra, again also of the fire element, pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When in balance, a student of life, humble, wise. When out of balance, know it all, egocentric. To bring into balance, taking a class and study. So again, because the cobra showed up as being as in the reverse, so we are taking that as it showing that it is out of balance. So becoming a know-it-all and egocentric. These two cards prepared paired up with all of our major arcana cards today, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit, and the Tower. It's an interesting combo, isn't it? And we have to remember that we are calibrating to love. And while I was in the very quick meditation I did, I heard that love is one of, if not the most powerful energy in the world. And there was a cute correction that actually it is alignment. Alignment is it's the highest vibration that we can. I'm not familiar with or I don't remember what is in the scale that they always like to show, but alignment's pretty up there. If I'm not mistaken, it's higher than love. But love is such a powerful energy, right? And immediately we are seeing here that why the reason why we are calibrating to love today is because there is a sense of being closed off. The Hermit is here, which is showing us that there is a part of us that is a little closed off. The Hermit paired with the Cobra reversed. It's showing that, right? You're closed off. You're feeling like, I already know what I already know, and so I am happy with where I'm at. And also with the Gazelle, it's saying that I don't need to really look anywhere else because I am comfortable here, and instead of being more open and welcoming to what is going on, I have to be hyper vigilant because I have created such a peaceful state of being already that it is it may feel like a disservice to actually open up and be vulnerable to love, right? But what it's doing is it's closing us off. It's not that, yes, it might have been we might have gotten to a point wherein we have created this peace. We have created this beautiful and nourishing environment for ourselves, and we just want to stay here. We want to stay here and bask in the peace, in the fulfillment, in the alignment, in the wonderful life that we have created thus far. And it probably got to a point wherein we just closed ourselves off. Because it's like, I don't want anybody destroying this peace. I don't want anybody coming in and stomping on the flowers that are currently blooming in my life. That feels like such a disservice to the hard work that I have created, that I have done, that I have done to create this beautiful environment, this beautiful life, this healthy lifestyle. But what is happening? What is happening is suddenly we're closed off to the Wheel of Fortune, to what is meant to happen next. Because we say, I'm good. I already know that I'm good here. So anybody, like, I'm not interested in anybody new. I'm not interested in opening up to. And this is not even in terms of romantic love, although there's a lot of heavy undertones here for romantic love. But it is just like I am not opening my heart to anything or anyone that can possibly damage is the word that's coming to mind. That could possibly damage this life that I had already created for myself. But we're not meant to stay there. We're not meant to stay closed off. And yes, your life is beautiful right now. And even if you might say that, well, there are things I could improve. Well, yes, but already your inner landscape. It doesn't have to be immediately your external life, right? Your external environment. It's more about your inner peace. It's more about the inner landscape, the inner mental, emotional, energetic landscape that you have created for yourself, that you have co created with the divine. That's what we're talking about here. And because that is already so beautiful, your self concept is so positive and so amazing. The way you think about certain things, the way that your relationship with yourself, with trust, with money, with everything that you're manifesting, that's all beautiful. It's all blooming, regardless of what is going on in the physical right now, right? And so, because it's so beautiful, it's like when food is, when you order food from a more upscale restaurant, so not just fast food restaurant, like something somewhere more upscale, and the plating is gorgeous, and then we stare at, oh, I don't want to eat this because it's so pretty. That's what's going on here. But then you have to eat the food, right? Because that's what it's meant. That's what it's meant for. Food is meant to be eaten. And yes, we can enjoy the visuals of it. We can enjoy the aesthetic, the plating, we can appreciate it. I just saw one, two, three, four. We can do all of that. And at the end of the day, it is still meant to be eaten. Because what happens if we don't eat the food? It rots. And then it's not, it's not, it doesn't serve its purpose anymore. And I'm not saying that your internal landscape is going to rot if you don't let anyone in and if you don't calibrate to love and letting more love in. But it's stale is kind of the word that comes to mind, right? You have a beautiful garden. You want to share it. You want it is meant to be shared. It is meant to be shared. It is meant to be enjoyed. Not in a way, of course, that is going to be harmful for you, but in a way that is like, oh, you have a pretty garden, I have a pretty garden. Let's tend to and care for each other's gardens, and let's see how our gardens complement each other, and how your garden can help nourish mine and how my garden can help nourish yours, whether that is on an individual level or on a macro level, because the macro is the micro and vice versa. But if you just keep it to yourself, it is not going to do what it's meant to do. At least not in a way and it's even like this. I want to say not in a way that benefits more than you, but after some time, it's going to stop benefiting you in the way that it did initially. Because then it starts, when Well, yeah, let's go back to that food with a beautiful plating analogy. You're gonna look at it, it's really pretty, it satisfies your eyes, your senses, it smells so good. But then as the night goes on and you're sitting there not eating it, you get hungry, right? You get hungry and it's like, why don't you just eat the food? But no, it's so pretty. But it's so pretty. I don't want to eat it, but that's what it's for. And it's like not participating in, because I'm looking at the Wheel of Fortune now, right? In a way, we all have certain roles to play in this collective. And I'm not saying that it is imperative that you play your role because it is going to be for the good of the collective, sure. And it's going to be for the good of you. Because at some point, you're going to want to reach out to other people. You're going to want to you're going to want to have a village. And in order to do that, it's important that you also be a villager. And so, this is yes, you have created such a beautiful landscape for yourself. You're creating and you have created such a beautiful life for yourself. Now it is time to open up to the world and to pour out love out into the world and let the love of the world pour out into you, to nourish the world and to give love out to the world and let the world love you. And yes, that may be hilarious to think about given the things that we see on the news. I One of my friends posted something like, if you're not angry yet, what are you doing? And yes, it's important to have that awareness of the not good things that are happening out in the world, and at the same time to be able to see that and say, hey, the world needs a little bit more love, and I have the capacity for that. I have the capacity for love, to give out love into the world and to let the world love me, even though even though it doesn't seem like the world has the capacity to love me. I'm still willing to give love out and to be open to love coming in. And yes, I might get hurt. And that's okay because my garden is equipped with everything I need to be able to nourish me and to protect me. The Hermit is showing up in the deck I'm using, the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's Kim Kranzley today for me. The Hermit is the turtle. So I have my protection, my physical, mental, emotional, energetic protection. I have my methodology. I have my, what's the word I'm thinking of? I have my protocols, I have my rituals and my routines, the things that I do to be able to protect myself and to nourish myself no matter how the world is going to respond to me. So I am good. I am good to give out love and to be open to receiving love. I'm gonna be okay. But it's time for me to open up and to receive love and to give love. And again, it's about love in general. So it's like you're good when it comes to yourself. Up until this point, it's your self concept and the love you have for yourself and you tending to your garden, it's gonna get much deeper as time goes on, as we continue to live life. And right now, you're being asked to calibrate to love because it's time to open up. It's time for you to open up and say, hey, take a look at my garden. There might be something here. I am ready to share what I have in my garden to you. And I am ready to receive and to see and to receive and to discern before receiving and even while receiving what you have for me as well. Because it's so important for this collective right now to not just nourish ourselves but to nourish each other as well. Micro and macro, our one-on-one relationships, and our relationship with the collective, because it's all affecting each other, right? Now I'm looking at the tower. And it's interesting because the tower, oh, that's interesting. Because the hermit has, because I said, right, like the pocket, sorry, my oracle cards are both fire for you, both in the reverse, and then the hermit has a candle, and the tower also has a tree on fire. So there's a lot of fire. And that's now telling me that it's it's not like you don't have a choice in how you want to show love. You do, and that's why the fire is here. It's through your passions. I just saw do. It's through your passions. Mm, it's through the things that you love, and the things that you love, the things that you're good at, the things you want to learn. Which is why the cobra is here, right? The cobra is here both to say that whatever it is you want to share out into the world, it's time to share it. And also now is also at the time when, as you are opening up, to also be a student of this next iteration of love that is now wanting to enter your life. Going back to the tower, this isn't saying that this whole thing, yes, there's a chance that you'll get hurt, that your emotions are gonna flare up, flow out. What is the right word phrase? I'm not sure right now. Because of course, right? You're gonna be interacting with the world again. And the world doesn't really know much about you the way you do. The world is going to trigger you. The world is going to say things that you may have already taken out of your vocabulary. They're going to tell you things that hit spots that you thought you had already processed through, but now it's like, oh, why is there why am I still being hit by it, and why does it still hurt when it hits me in this way, when they hit me with these words and these things. And that is part of the next iteration of your life as a continuing student of life, and as you are calibrating into love, and as you are stepping into this new level of love. Getting triggered isn't necessarily a bad thing. It means that you are ready to open up and go deeper. Go deeper, go wider, go higher, whatever resonates most in any situation. Into yourself more. Go deeper into yourself, go wider into yourself, go higher into yourself. Excuse me. And to really get as close to alignment, as close to your infinite soul, as close to the most undiluted version of your potency as possible. Because right now you've reached the point of, in this chapter, you're good, right? And this is this calibration reading saying that you're good. Okay, now it's time for the next lesson. Or now it's time for the next chapter. It's time for the next class. It's time to go deeper, go wider, go higher. And you can say that you're good. That's okay. But when you feel like you want something more, then this is the reading. This is the divine saying that, hey, you're ready for more. Now let's get you to start going for that more. And that is a good a segue as anything to open our cards now for the suggested action step for inner alignment. We have the Father of Wands, another fire card. Excuse me. There's really this is gonna be a self-paced course for you. It's okay if you take your time with this. Okay? You're seeing this at the time that you are seeing this because this is a timeless message. You are seeing this at the time you're seeing this because your soul is telling you that you are ready to jump into this lesson. And this is self-paced. Okay? So you get to step out and then go back in as you please. But the Father of Wands is saying that your internal calibration has to do with you determining and saying out loud and succinctly articulating what kind of more do you want? In what way are you ready to open up? What kind of love are you ready to seek out and receive from the world? And what are you ready to do to reach out, to seek out? Now I'm called to share a quick anecdote because personally, I know that I want to get married and have kids. I'm going to meet my husband and going to get married and have kids. That's something that I know to be true about myself. And and up until very recently, I would consider myself very awkward around guys, especially guys I don't know or guys that, because a lot of I think most of my guy friends, up until I want to say last year or 2 years ago. Yeah. Are guys that I met in high school and college. And so they're guys that I consider like my brothers. And then I also have actuals and actual brothers. So pretty awkward around guys. And so as I know that I am moving towards union with my person, I know that when we meet, it's probably gonna be a good idea if I am not so awkward around guys. So that at the very least I'll be able to start talking to my person, right? Because I'm just gonna shy away. And so it's interesting because after I declared that, I have had the chance to meet my friends' guy friends, and it has been, and it's like platonic. Okay, so I'm very happy to have met these people because, first of all, more friends. I'm happy to open up and have more friends, but specifically, now this is helping me. I give out friendship and I have received more confidence in communicating with the opposite sex, basically. And that is something that I'm very thankful for. And it felt like now I'm really less awkward talking to guys, yes, and also other people in general. Which is why I've gotten more confidence in doing this in the first place. But yeah, so that's like an example of what the father of wands is communicating, this internal calibration. What do you feel? What kind of more do you feel that you're being led towards? That you're telling the divine, you're telling God, divine universe, all that is, however you want to call all that is. What are you telling the divine source that you are ready to open up to and to receive? And then what are you ready to do in order to meet the divine halfway for this? And again, this is self-paced. So you get to decide whether or not you want to do it in a fast pace or in a slower pace. How big a leap you're ready to take. 33 on the timer. As I said that, we're getting all the confirmations. I'm seeing all the confirmations for you. So it's self-paced. And remember that this is, you ultimately chose this period of study for yourself. And so that's the internal calibration. It is that from here on out, it is your choice. You may have felt like you didn't have a choice as you started certain periods of study in your life, as you started to, for example, create your boundaries or create your self care routine, your routines for your physical health, mental health. Maybe you felt that in the beginning you didn't really have a choice in starting it because you needed it. Now, it is ultimately your choice if you want to go through with this in the first place and how you're going to go through with it. And so, this is something that you want and you desire to do, to open up to love and to open yourself up to love. This is your choice. Okay, you are empowered in this. If you didn't feel like you had a choice in your previous periods of study, now this is saying ultimately, yes, you get to stay in your garden, in your peace, as in your hermit mode for the rest of your life, if you so choose it. But if you so choose to open yourself to love and to open yourself up to giving love and to receiving love from the world in however way you want to, it is now ultimately your choice to step into this period of study. Okay? And now we're going to move on to the external calibration, the Empress. I love that. And it's so interesting because you would think that the Empress would signify the internal calibration, and the Father of Wands or the King of Wands would represent the external, but it's the other way around. The external calibration is once you have chosen, once you have done everything I said about what the Father of Wands has said, or what the Father of Wands represents in this reading, the Empress is telling you to receive. So, I'm going to go back to my personal little anecdote. When I said I wanted to get more comfortable communicating with the opposite sex, with guys, with males, right? When I said that, my friends have also that's how Divine Source met me and said, "Hey, your friends are going to invite you to meet their friends." It was my choice whether I wanted to go and hang out and meet these people or not. And I said yes. So this is the Empress talking. When you get that from the divine, you get to receive it. When the divine gives you opportunities to do this whole dancing of opening up to love and then you receiving love from the world, when you're given out an opportunity, you get to receive it. And again, this is all your choice. This is all your pacing. Okay? You get to say, yeah, sure. Or maybe not right now, but I would love to meet them some other time. And then you get to prepare if that's what you want to do. But ultimately, once you declare, once you have done everything I said about what the Father of One said, the divine is going to give you opportunities to fulfill that, to meet that, to see what would happen as you go back out into the world. And you get to receive that. And you get to co-create the circumstances surrounding all of that from your standpoint, right? So you get to decide how you show up. You get to decide what version of you they're gonna meet and how you're going to interact. And yes, it's not gonna be all like, of course, there were times when I was still like shy and I didn't really talk as much, but ultimately I did the thing. And that's my little anecdote. But yeah, okay. So with all that being said, again, you have the choice here. You have this is very you driven at this point. You get to set the terms and you get to receive the opportunities. And you get to show up in however way you want to show up. As you choose it. As you choose to excuse me. As you choose to open back out into the world. And that's how I recalibrate to love today. Now, before I end the reading, I do have one more card here as like a final word for us. and it is the Father of Swords. So this is just reiterating that this is your decision. This is a period of study that you choose to enter, should you so choose it. Okay? So this is not something that is like, well, this is not something that they're gonna force you to do. Okay? But if you so choose it, then this is happening for you.
So before I go and say goodbye, I just want to let you know that I am doing a sort of pick a card reading for this, which is about what kind of love are you being guided to open up to. And that is going to be a little exclusive for my Patreon members. So if you want to become a member, the link is in the description and it's going to be up there. But if you are complete with this reading, thank you very much. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing that. So if you want to receive that reading, I will see you on my Patreon. If not, and you feel complete with this reading, then I am very thankful that you took the time to listen. And now back to original Lenny's outro.
And with that, I am ending the reading here. I'm sending you so much love. I trust you. I know that you're going to make the right decision for yourself. 40-40. And that is our calibration for today. Sending you so much love, encouragement. I believe in you. I trust you. Bye bye.